Flow with me. Float with me. Float with me. Welcome, family, as we soar amongst the clouds to let go of mental blocks, cleanse self-sabotage, release inner fear, and struggle with self-doubt. Enjoy this flight and meditation. Thank you. Let go of mental blocks. Cleanse self-sabotage. Release inner fear and struggle with self-doubt. Thank you, as we have walked amongst the stars. Namaste. Stillness and blessings, family. Glad to be in the flesh. Love and light, health and wholeness. Stillness and blessings, love and light, health and wholeness. Stillness and blessings, love and light, health and wholeness. I'm kind of all set. I'm sure y'all know as well. But before I begin, I'm gonna light this candle for the young man that was just slain in the street in Philadelphia. I ask that y'all bow y'all head with me in a moment of silence to celebrate and lift up the energy and essence and spirit of his life. Thank you. I hope everybody in the highest vibration possible. As I said previously, I'm kind of offset because, you know, I'm sure I'm not the only one. We as a people, we sick of certain things. We tired of being sick and tired. But I'm gonna try to maintain focus and do what we've been doing. But just for the record, it can't be ignored, you know. So if I seem edgy or whatever in my energy, it's why, you know, we all know what's going on if, you know, we paying attention to the news and, you know, things like that. This, you know, this situation with police and us, it gotta stop. But anyway, when people care about you, they're gonna tell you things about yourself that you don't want to hear, even when you need to. When people care about you, they're going to tell you things about yourself that you don't want to hear, even when you need to. When you run into a hump, if you can't get over it, find a way to get past it. There are moments we still need to listen to one another, even when we don't agree. There are moments we still need to listen to one another, even when we don't agree. We as a people, and this is just some contemplations that I was writing down. We as a people have to start focusing and attributing greatness to things of higher vibrations. At the same time, we need to find ways to be more open to understand what people or those around us have been through, including ourselves, to understand what makes them the way they are. And I say that because it's easy for us to judge. To judge in judgment, rather, observe to understand. I also say that to say this. If our life force is not used or understood properly, then life is more, we probably have made our life more of a hell. Most of us inadvertently make our lives hell anyway. I've been there before. But what's strange about it is that whoever makes their life hell is aware of it in some way or other, right from the beginning. And in this simple realization, the inner journey begins, and there's no need to search for heaven anywhere else outside of oneself. That completes my foreword for the day. And we're going to proceed to the ADK Loop, Book 2, Law of Life. We're in the section of creation. On page 222. Therefore, when mankind began to generate these human qualities, the beings of the element, seeing them, also began to outpicture them. I backed up a little bit from where we ended up at to start off. And as always, and not only animals do that, our children do that. You know, and it's crazy because I was just having a conversation with somebody about how we have children to teach us about ourselves. Those of us who have children or a child or whatever, you know, the highest purpose of having a child is to learn about yourself. Through that process, many of them became karmically attached to certain life streams. Some of these individuals became what is termed black magicians, and they deliberately compelled beings of the elements to take on and inhabit animal form / bodies so they could hold their focus among mankind on earth. That way, the animals were used as warriors against mankind, especially those desiring to progress in the light. Remember, the beings of the elements were vowed to serve life, individuals with the threefold flame in their hearts. The so-called black magicians at one time even had schools. There was one such school before the sinking of Mu, otherwise known as Lemuria, where some 300 of them congregated in a cave, a city in the Andes in South America, which is still there. They created various animal forms out of the substance in the atmosphere which had been qualified with discord and compelled elemental beings into them. However, the light is always more powerful, and there is the action of the great law that when destructive forces reach a certain point, the law takes a hand. This is done through ascended and cosmic beings. That way, the school was broken up and never again was such a focus or action permitted. Life is extremely generous and kind and always gives opportunity to reverse a wrong. Life is extremely generous and kind and always gives us an opportunity to reverse a wrong. When this focus or school was broken up, the black magicians were given opportunities to withdraw their destructive creations, including their animal creations, but they refused. Therefore, the animals have remained as such to this day. As I was reading that, I was thinking, you can always change. You have the power of choice. So, in the act of wrongdoing, you always have the power to change the choice of thought behind the action. Many black magicians and live streams have gone through what is called second death, and some of their creations continue to exist and function. Some redemption has taken place through humanity's love, and through that, animals have been domesticated. Animals have ganglionic centers and emotional bodies, but plant life does not. It is life energy that beats the heart of animals, not an individualized flame of God, as is the case in mankind. Within the heart of these imprisoned elementals is the pattern which they once were and are to become again. Group souls are the combined consciousness of each species with an angel devil who has volunteered as the directing intelligence and guardian, holding the perfect concept for each. It is mostly angels who volunteer to render this service. Elemental life in animal form grew thick skins, horns, hoofs, shells, and scales as a protection, a defense mechanism against the currents of viciousness they felt in the atmosphere about them. Plant life developed thorns, poison, and heavy bark for the same reason. The cactus is a distortion of plant life caused by inharmony and the many human qualities. These protective activities will disappear as mankind nature and all on earth again become harmonious and discordant feelings are replaced by love. All animal life has to be redeemed. All animal life has to be redeemed, and that is done by love. It will come mostly through the angelic host. The octopus was once a radiating being. Instead of those arms, they were rays of light. The oyster was a beautiful little being of purity, a focus of the goddess of purity, and that is the reason for the pearls there today, which is a remnant of that action. Bugs, insects, vermin, and disease germs are just condensed thought forms. They are composed of the discordant qualities generated by human beings. Birds come under another action. They were created by the ascended masters as messengers to mankind. Some have, however, taken on human qualities, which accounts for their destructive activities. An animal's loyalty to its master can well be attributed to the fact that it is an elemental being. An animal's loyalty to its master can well be attributed to the fact that it is an elemental being. Many people today are very attached to animals because of karmic debt. Humanity in general loves the animals, which is well and good, but they have an attachment with them through the emotional body. This too is not freedom and must be corrected. Many people today are very attached to animals because of karmic debt. Humanity in general loves the animals, which is well and good, but they have an attachment with them through the emotional body. This too is not freedom and must be corrected. Animals have to be redeemed from these forces and the conditions in which they function and enter again into their natural state of existence and progress in evolution. Some ancient animals are extinct, evidently having been redeemed. Where an animal is killed, the flesh registers fear. and that is absorbed into the emotional body of those eating it. When an animal is killed, the flesh registers fear, and that is absorbed into the emotional body of those eating it. The reasons for not eating meat and using serums should be apparent. The use of alcohol, narcotics, and tobacco should be avoided too. It is well known that a master can go amongst vicious animals. What takes place is the radiation from the master transmute those qualities in the animal. Usually, soon after that, something happens which releases the life from that form, setting it free because it has been redeemed. Wow. Deserts were created by discord and the release of atomic bombs and such like, and nature even to this day has refused to grow vegetation there. They are, again, to become fertile and beautiful as gardens. The present density, which is caused by imperfection and discord, came about very gradually over a very long period of time. The imperfection, the wronger human qualities which had been generated by the laggards, then embodying on earth very subtly through radiation and contagion, began to enter the mental and feeling world of the pure life streams, many of the guardians as well as the evolving race. Even it is written, even the elect will be deceived. The destructive forces released by mankind had their beginning through human beings by their determination to assert authority over others. This momentum was gained by the attention and use of energy by their own desire only, with no assistance from any other source, and it was a long time before it was even perceptible. The lowest ebb or darkest time of Earth was before Sanat Kumara came, when the cosmic council of the suns of the solar systems voted for the dissolution of the Earth. Sanat Kumara attended that council and afterwards decided to come and sustain the Earth. He then got permission to do so from the council. The call had gone forth by Archangel Raphael for more guardians. Then Sanat Kumara and others came. The use of fire, lost to the masses, was again established. Previously to this, there was a time when there were only 4 individuals holding the connection with the higher realms. There have been times when there was only one. There was created and established a karmic board previous to Sanat Kumara's coming. The generation of discord brought about this requirement. The principal qualities which are the cause of discord are condemnation, criticism, and judgment. Imperfection is a rate of vibration slower than or below a certain point. The rates of vibrations that produce perfection do not go below that point. There is a dividing line. The motive behind the action or use of a thing is a very important factor, and it can and does often determine whether it is good or evil, perfect or imperfect. It is sometimes stressed that oppression is necessary to progress. It is sometimes stressed that opposition is necessary to progress. That is not so, because on other planets they make progress without having opposition by human actions and qualities. There is certain natural resistance which promotes and stimulates progress, but this is all harmonious. Some of the priests of Lemuria who had never wanted the laggards to come began to make application to have them taken off the earth, instead of being willing to apply the law to sublimate and transmute the misqualified energies and redeem them. That brought about a division in the priesthood, whereas had they stayed unified, the sinking of the continent would not have taken place. All this eventually brought about the sinking of Lemuria, which sank overnight with some 60 million people. The focus of discord, which was the beginning of the destruction that finally sank the continent, was located near San Diego, California. There, the third record of the ancient city was seen at a cosmic moment one evening in 1934 by many people passing by on the highway at that time. Thank you. I appreciate y'all for appreciating me. We will continue tomorrow. Like, share, subscribe. I thank you for all your support, your donations, and your time. We will conclude the section of creation tomorrow. May y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. Stillness, blessings, love and light, health and